Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ND Ice. I'm your host, David Trinka, alongside my co-host, Lincoln Retzloff, as always, on the podcast that covers college, junior, and high school hockey in the state of North Dakota. We've been doing a lot of Brad and the boys last year, and it's good to be back. We'll be doing a actual player interview this time, and it's not just a player; it's a very special player and his father, the one, the only, pump the tires, Riese Gaber, former captain UND hockey for 1 year, but played for 4 years. And then obviously we got the one, the only Mike Gaber. What's up going on, guys?
Hey, how we
Hi,
doing?
boys.
We're doing just fine, recovering from last night. Had a little shindig. Um, but why don't we start off with a little summer and weekend recap? What you guys want to start? Mike and
Yeah, go ahead first.
No, I just been busy working. Uh, not doing much other than that. Just slowly winding down, and unfortunately, Sioux hockey's coming up, and I won't be coming down there anymore.
yeah, yeah. Well, you Reese.
Yeah, mine's been good, been busy. I've been kind of home. I was in the States all of July. Spent a week or two in Florida, and then I was in Grand Forks for three, and just been trying to get home and hang out with the fam when I can. I'll be home for a month now before I gotta um head down south. So I'm just trying to get a lot of golf and family time in as along with my skates and workouts. So that's been good.
Sweet. Hitting the links. I like it. Sauce, what do you got?
Yeah, just kind of hanging out, enjoying the weather. It's coming down to a close here, school starting, but that doesn't mean it's getting closer to hockey season, so can't
Mhm.
complain about that. But yep, just enjoying the summer so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been working a lot this summer, enjoying the weekends when they come. Trying to escape the heat when it comes, working outside all the time, so it really gets to you. The last week was nice though, it was pretty chill. And then had a little shindig with the boys yesterday, so got after a little bit, a little recovery today. So it's been sweet. It's been sweet. We'll go right into just some questions here. We'll start at the way beginning here for you, Reese. What was it like growing up in Manitoba for you?
Definitely a lot of access to ice. I'm from a very small town, like 700 people here, and kind of all it is just farming and hockey. So, kind of been my life growing up, and it's been great. I had obviously a lot of access to the rink. Like I said, you can skate a lot, and
Hmm.
our dads would help put in the ice in the fall, and we could kind of just go to the rink and skate whenever we want. So yeah, it was always good for early development and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, I know it was always eventful.
That's perfect. Mike's got the sheet rolling out there, putting the work in. I know the
Mhm.
ODRs are really hard to maintain during the year. It takes a lot of work and dedication.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
So I remember hearing a lot, or doing a lot of reading, the stories that our buddy Schloss at the Herald has done. That you're obviously you said it, a lot of farming goes on up there in Gilbert Plains. But little something that a lot of people
A
don't
lot of people
know
don't know.
that you like to bull ride. Why don't you go a little bit into that?
Um, Yeah, I've never done it myself, but growing up as a young kid, I'd always idolized a lot of professional bull riders, and I grew up around rodeos, so I kind of always wanted to be one. And then I think once I got older, I kind of realized how crazy you got to be to do it. So didn't quite fall into that category, but probably glad that didn't end up taking that path. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Well,
sweet.
Reese was probably 6, 7, 8 years old. He would get dressed up in his cowboy gear with a cowboy hat, and we would make a little makeshift bull riding pen in the living room, and I was the bull, and he would be hanging on for try to hang on for 8 seconds, and it was a lot of fun, and of course having pillows. So
Yeah,
when the bull bucked him off, he could fall on the pillows and stuff like that. So I
that's
don't know if he
awesome.
Awesome.
remembers it or not.
What a
No.
dad right there.
Yeah.
So obviously you got the guy right here with you. Who in your family has influenced you, in your hockey journey throughout your whole life? Like, what's the scene?
Yeah, definitely the guy sitting beside me here. He played and um I don't think I really had much of a choice when I was young. It was kind of just hockey. That's what it was gonna be. And never second guessed it or questioned it and kind of fell in love with it right away. So um yeah, I was probably I don't know what, like 4 or 5 when I first got on skates.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of just that right away and yeah, really no looking back.
Perfect. Perfect. What about your mom? I know I've met Krista a couple times.
Yeah, same thing. She's I mean she never played or anything, but I think same thing, just knew right away that it was gonna be hockey and we just kind of rode with that and they obviously have done a lot for me and sacrificed a lot of time and money
Hmm.
to drive my ass around and shit. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's been good though. So
Awesome. Mike, this one's for you here. What was it like raising Reese? Like youth hockey, junior hockey training, just training in general. You mentioned the ODR, you had that around for him. What was the whole raising Reese for to be the hockey player he is today? What was that like?
Well, it was absolutely enjoyable, right? But one thing that his Reese's mom always stressed to me was I wasn't going to be that psycho dad, that psycho, coach, whatever. I coached Reese ever since he started skating, and we kind of just went at Reese's pace. He loved it, and the more time he spent in the rink, the more he fell in love with hockey and all that stuff. So we were not pushing him, but he was doing it all on his own. And then we got into the minor hockey system, and he it took him about a year and a half to catch up to kids that had already been playing minor hockey. And
Hmm.
by that second year, he had already passed 3/4 of the group already. So I could see, there was some potential for him to play better hockey.
Hmm. Awesome.
But I never thought that he'd be where he is to this day. He's
Cool.
impressed. He's totally impressed me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Yeah, kind of jumping forward here a little bit here. Reese, I know at one point you were committed to Western Michigan, right? Just kind of why did you originally choose to go there first and then change up your decision?
yeah, so the coaching staff at Western at the time was Dave Shayak, who just got the head coach job in Northern Michigan. Him and Dad were line mates in junior together. And Shayak's actually from Manitoba. And then the head coach was Andy Murray, who I grew up
Hmm.
going to his hockey schools.
Hmm.
So we had a lot of history there with the coaching staff and kind of thought it was a no-brainer. A little bit of a rush decision. They gave me like a day to decide and stuff, and I figured it'd be stupid to turn that down. And they were my first offer, and I went with it. But as time went on, I just felt it wasn't the right fit, and I really want to be closer to home. And excuse me, closer to home. And yeah, obviously, I ended up working out, and got to go to my dream school. So
Sweet. So yeah, just go a little bit more in depth. This is kind of a double question here. I got it written out as two different ones, but why did you choose UND? And then also this second part of the question is for both of you. Just take us through your visit of UND. I mean, I don't know if Mike was there on your first visit or on a couple, maybe he was on a couple.
Yeah.
And then what were your initial thoughts? Were there any, features of the Ralph or the campus that really caught your eye or got you really excited to play here?
sorry, what was the first part? Oh boy, I already forgot.
Just why did you choose UND and then take us
Oh
through the
yeah.
visit there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Western Canada, I mean, pretty much every kid's dream is um to play in the Western Hockey League, but what you don't know much about college. It's a lot different now, but when I was at that age, you didn't really know much about college, and if you did know anything about college, you knew UND and the Ralph. You've heard about the facilities, kind of what it's like, and so obviously, if a kid's gonna go to college from Western Canada, it's pretty much their dream to go play for the Sioux, and So that was a no-brainer for me. And once I heard that they were interested and started talking to them, it was, my mind was set on that, and that's all I wanted. Then I guess for the second part, yeah, when I was playing in the USHL, I was coming over Christmas, and me and Dad stopped in Grand Forks on the visit, and honestly didn't even need a visit. They could have just asked me over the phone, and would have been a real quick yes. But yeah, at the end of the day, we went and met with the coaching staff, and the guys were on winter break, so I didn't meet any of the guys or see a game or anything. But again, I didn't need any of that, and right away I just couldn't wait to hear that offer, and once I got it, it was I remember we were sitting there and they asked us like if we need some time to think about it, and like me and Dad just looked at each other and like kind of thought, hell no, like it's pretty easy decisions.
Let me
Yeah.
stress that it wasn't had anything to do with me. It was all him. He just looked at
Mhm.
me, and then Bubs and Dane Jackson were sitting across from us, and Reese stood up right away and he says, "I want to become a Sioux."
Awesome.
So
Great. Before joining the team, what were your impressions of college hockey in North Dakota? You said it a little bit. You didn't really know a whole lot, but I mean, I'm sure as you were in the USHL, there's a lot of kids that go from the USHL into college. So what were, your impressions of college hockey in North Dakota right before?
Yeah, I honestly didn't, like I said, I didn't really know too much, but as I got older, I kind of learned more and more. And I'd never been to a game before I stepped foot on campus, but just seeing videos and like watching through these doors and that stuff,
Hmm.
had me pretty pumped up. And obviously the year before I went in, it got shut down short to COVID, but I was pretty excited to get there, obviously, and just seeing all those videos and stuff, it's pretty easy to get up for.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll cut a little bit ahead to your time here at UND and a little bit more into the academic side of it. What was your major while you were here, and how did you like it? Did you have a favorite professor?
Yeah, so kinesiology was my major. I got a minor in coaching. And favorite professor, there's definitely some good ones. I'd have to say, I don't know. I had one when I was I took it like an education class. So I
Hmm.
didn't know if I want to be a gym teacher or not. And Teresa Grijova, I don't know how to say her last name, but she was awesome, super nice. And then obviously the GOAT Munski,
Yeah.
is going to be up there. He's
Dougie.
he's the man. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, Munski's got to be up there for sure. And that's the guy that you met.
oh, the
From
guy
the
giving
start.
out candies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Big candy
yeah,
guy.
Dad met him when they were whatever at the Ralph, and he's like, "Oh yeah, one of your professors came and he offered me like candy," and I was like, "Yeah, that's Munski. He's the man." So
Oh yeah.
yeah, pretty easy answer there with Munski, I think.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. He's definitely one of my favorites. I've had him for quite a few classes. Always giving out those Smarties because we're Smarties, stuff like that. Um, what are your, I know, again, Schloss has covered it a little bit, with some of your pregame routines. But why don't you run us through, what a day or a pregame, what it's like the first couple hours you get to the rink there, and then, what it's like right before you get on the ice, your routines or superstitions.
Yeah, so usually I get there pretty early. Always kind of leave at the same time. Listen to the same songs in the car. Maybe switch it up here and there, but um, yeah, kind of the main thing. Like I take a nap, obviously, and eat a little bit when I wake up. And then right before I'm getting ready, like after I'm showered, I call my grandparents, give them a FaceTime quick, talk to them for about 5 minutes. Then I do the same with mom and dad. Mom and dad, excuse me. Um, and that's my kind of before I get to the rink, I do that every single game day. And even if we're on the road, I plan accordingly, whatever, and go to the rink and kind of do my same stretches, tape my stick, kind of first thing I take care of when I get to the rink. And other than that, I'm not too superstitious. Like I don't got much going on. Just kind of do my thing, try and get dialed in, and just be
Hmm.
fired up for the game.
Hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Mike, I know you don't get a chance to make it down to Grand Forks for every game. A little bit similar question for you. Just wondering if you have some sort of pregame routine for when you're getting ready to watch Riese, whether it's on TV, at home, or wherever you're at, or if you're in person, if you have something you do before every game, maybe grab a couple beers before you take your seat, or what's the routine for you?
Well, when I show up for games at the Ralph, most definitely, I'd have to go get my Captain spiced always,
Oh,
and yeah, and
that's what I like too.
got my drink, and that's my one and only drink that I have, and uh, the odd time I'll have a special Riese Gaber drink if he's scoring a goal that game. I got to know a lady that was nice enough to bring a special drink for me, so
Oh, sweet.
um, yeah.
That's awesome.
And if I'm at home watching it, I like I said, Captain Morgan's is my flavor,
Oh yeah,
so
that's me.
I'll have one or two at home and watch it on my big screen.
Just straight on the rocks, or you put some Coke in there, diet Dr. Pepper, like what's
No,
your
well,
mix?
Coke.
Yeah, it doesn't got the storm
Coke?
smell.
Sweet.
No, Coke, Pepsi, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper is pretty good with it too. I
Yeah.
enjoy Captain a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
Riese, you said a little bit in the car, you listen to some music. I know no phones are really allowed in the locker room. But do you have a pregame song that you listen to or a favorite maybe you listen to in the car or before you get in the locker room or maybe in the locker room?
Yeah, like when I'm kind of showering, getting ready, I'll listen to a little bit of country to start, and then when I'm going to the rink in the car, I'll listen to usually like some AC/DC or Nickelback,
Oh yeah.
some go-tos. A lot of rock. I don't really listen to too much rap.
Mm-hmm.
Just mainly a country guy, but there's one song I listen to every game day. It's the first song I play um in the car, and Welcome to the Show by Cody Johnson.
Right.
Um
That's a good one.
one of my favorite guys. So we kind of had we just kind of, and I'll throw my 4 years that kind of caught on, and my buddies from back home, we'd always play that song, and just kind of honestly kind of just a mental thing, like welcome to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, just play that all the time,
Stuck
and
with you.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, Riese, you started your college career out in the pod in Omaha. Can you kind of talk about that experience? I mean, there's nothing like that, and there probably never will be ever again.
Yeah, the plot was actually awesome. We were the number one seed, so we got our own hotel, which was sick. So like the lobby was blocked off for us, and it was just us only, and we had like games and like arcade stuff there, and our own meeting room. We could go down there and chill, do homework, whatever, that kind of stuff. We all had our own rooms, which is sick. But um, yeah, it was honestly a ton of fun. Probably some of the most dialed in the guys have been, playing hockey, just because there's nothing to do but just hockey. Get back to the room, and you're by yourself. You kind of just dial in and think about hockey. So yeah, obviously the body's feeling great. There's no Joe Blacks to head out to or anything. So you spend
Yeah.
30 days and you're feeling
Keeping it
feeling pretty
clean.
good. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely keeping her clean. And guys had their Xboxes, I think, a few guys or whatever, but I'm not much of a gamer. I suck, so I just stay with that, and yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
hang out. So it was a lot of fun.
Were they playing a lot of Fortnite, or what was the game that a lot of them were throwing on?
Yeah, I think a lot of Fortnite, a lot of COD. I think Fortnite was kind of mostly the thing back then.
Yeah.
It's always funny hearing those guys' stories and stuff. It's a pretty fun time on the mic, that's for sure. So,
Yeah. Was there ever a team that had your guys' number when you were playing them, or you just hated playing in general throughout your time in college?
um, good
Team that
question.
like,
Probably,
yeah.
yeah, maybe like, I don't know. Omaha always played really well against us.
Hmm.
I think majority of the time we got their number, but yeah, they always seem to play really well against us. And then I think an obvious one would be Colorado College. Um,
Yeah.
Especially like my freshman year, we went out there, and that's before they had the new rink. And just like, first of all, you have the altitude, and then the
Hmm.
atmosphere is there's like 10 people in the stands, the rink's dark, like it's just miserable. But they're such a defensive team, and you go into those games thinking it's going to be 1-0 each night. They're boring as hell. If I'm a fan, I'm not watching those games at all. But yeah, no, that definitely this year, obviously had our numbers, so that sucked,
Yeah.
but probably the obvious answer there.
Yeah.
Still weird. That was random. Okay, we're back.
Awesome. So after some technical difficulties there, we are back. So Reese, I know that I mean, I talked to some scouts at the Frozen Face-Off last year in St. Paul, and I think there were some rumors, roaming around. We weren't sure if you were going to return last year, but just kind of a curious question for me, and I'm sure some people were also wondering it out there, but how close were you to making that decision to jump to the next level?
Very close. That was definitely the toughest decision of my life, and I think with honestly, probably the whole season, I thought that was going to be it, and that was kind of the plan. I talked to my agent at Christmas, and we were talking to teams, and it was kind of like just saying that this was going to be the last run. So, the way it ended, and obviously missing the tournament and whatnot, kind of after the season was done, everyone thought I was kind of leaving, and I did too. And then, kind of as time went on, and I was thinking about it, I just wasn't ready to leave. It was tough to pass up what I had, and I knew that I might not get those offers again if I came back, and that ended up happening. But I said at the time, I said, I'm totally okay with that. Still got to get to that next level somehow anyway. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I just kind of said I wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready to leave the program. I think the big thing with me is that my heart and my mind were telling me two different things. My mind was telling me that I should probably sign an NHL deal, and my heart just kind of said, you got to stay, and that's kind of what it came down to. And I'm just extremely happy that I made the decision to come back, and I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think I personally just love college, especially being at UND, and when the community is behind you, it's just different. But what are some
Yeah.
of your highlights of your time at UND that you can think of?
I'd say a couple popped to mind right away. I'd say my first goal, that was pretty special. For me, obviously, I'll never forget that one, and in the pod, and first goal to Ralph. Our frozen face off my freshman year at the Ralph when we had that comeback against St. Cloud in the final.
Oh yeah.
That was might be the best period of hockey I played all 4 years. That one definitely stands out. And then I'd say lastly was definitely hosting the Penrose this year on senior night.
Oh yeah.
Obviously was very lucky to have that C on my chest and get to go up and get the Penrose was one of the coolest things I've done. So very special night, and yeah.
The after party was pretty good too that night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I gotta say.
Yeah, we had a good crew there. That was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
never fails.
Yeah. What did it mean to you to be captain of UND?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, shit. It was, just I think one day when I'm gonna be able to look back at my time and you know, just see that I had that honor to wear that C is pretty dang cool, and it's a big responsibility, and it's not easy. Obviously, there's a high standard, but I got taught by some pretty good guys, and obviously had a great surrounding cast, and everyone made it easy. But yeah, just really truly the coolest thing ever, and just the whole year as a whole just really made it worth coming back. So even though we fell short of our end goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Reese, can you kind of talk about like your leadership style and what kind of captain you tried to be for the team?
Yeah, definitely. not too much of a yeller or too stern, but you know, at the same time, there's a fine line, and you kind of got to lay the law at times. But yeah, definitely try to be very encouraging and help guys out. And you know, I'm not really into putting guys down or yelling at teammates and that kind of shit. So yeah, definitely just try and be supportive, and you know, kind of just honestly do the best I can. So
Yeah. What older teammate was maybe not the biggest influence on you, but and it could be multiple. What was an older teammate that influenced you in your time and really helped you settle in or taught you the ropes?
yeah, I'd say my freshman year right away. Our senior class kind of took us in right away. There were 7 of them, I think, and there were 7 of us coming in. So we were just kind of a carbon copy of their class, and yeah, it was good. They took us under their wing, and you know, really helped us out. They were awesome guys like Gooch and Kierstead, you know, Misher and Colin Adams. You know, just that
Mm-hmm.
whole class was awesome. And then, you know, there's guys obviously like Jake Sanderson and JBD, just watching them, how they approach the game, approach every day.
Mm-hmm.
Shane's another, I was really close with Shane in my time there. And, um, you know, he's just a true pro. And, you know, I really looked up to Shane. So that was pretty cool to get to play alongside him and all those guys. But, yeah, there's so many. I could name every guy, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely a lot. So
Yeah. A great support system that, they help you get along. What is the talk about your relationship a little bit with the coaching staff? What was that like?
yeah, awesome. They're just yeah, they're the best. You know, obviously KG was there all 4 years with me, and just such a smart hockey mind. He's awesome, such a good person. All the coaches just they care about you more as a person than they do as a player, and you know, they want to get you better. They want to win. They're great at their jobs. Um, Jax is just all time. My guy's a legend. He's a Sioux legend, Grand Forks legend. All the boys love Jax. He's awesome. And then Bub's just, you know, one of the nicest guys ever. Cares about everyone so much, and
Hmm.
cares about winning so much. And then obviously Simmer, we had him this year, and Simmer's just another all time beauty. He's awesome. It was great having him this year, and you know, getting to kind of learn things from him. And
Hmm.
obviously he's pretty fresh out of a pro. So just getting to hear his stories and take things away from each one of those guys has been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit about Bubs. We would clean the Ralph every once in a while to make money for our fraternity. And one time I was walking around the lower bowl, no one was there, and Bubs was walking around, and I don't know if I was carrying anything or if I was just walking around. Maybe I had a mop bucket or something, but he's just like, "Thanks for everything you do." And I was like, "Yeah, that's sweet. Awesome."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of those people that he makes sure he goes out of his way to make sure that
Yeah.
you know you're appreciated. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, he's
Hmm.
top notch for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of your game that you play?
Um, love shooting the puck, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Gotta.
some when I can have the puck on my stick. Obviously I feel pretty good when I have it. So you know, I'd say just being able to kind of get myself to areas where I can shoot, and you know, use my edges, dart in and out of corners. Um, you know, obviously play a little feisty too. So
Hmm.
that's definitely kind of my favorite, I'd say.
Is there a game that comes to mind? Maybe it's a few that are pretty close. That the Ralph was just bumping. Like you've never heard it that loud before, or the crowd was in it the whole game, or it was just, the maybe the best game that you've ever played in your life at the Ralph. Is there a game that comes to mind to you?
First one, this is kind of a weird answer just because um it was during COVID and we only had like
Yeah.
3,000 or whatever, 25% capacity. Um, but that frozen face-off final
Yeah.
game there in the Ralph was it seemed so loud at the time, and I think that was like my first time
Yeah,
obviously
it
being in the
was.
Ralph with fans, and it seems so loud, and it's crazy to think there was only,
Mhm.
a quarter capacity. But aside from that, I'd say this year in the first period we were playing Denver, and like we had them. That's the weekend we swept them, and we had them hemmed in their zone. Like the whole crowd was on their feet. It was only the first period, and I think that's the loudest I've heard it. And I'm just like, I would do this a ton. I just sit on the bench, like especially after we score a goal or after a win, and just sit there and stare into the crowd and just take it in and be like,
Mhm.
"Fuck! Like this is nuts! Like this is the coolest thing ever." And,
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely one of those times. I remember I was sitting by Bergie when that happened against Denver, and he's just like, "Man, like this is what I came for." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
like just there nothing beats it in the world." So um, I have goosebumps talking about it for sure.
Yeah. That frozen face-off game at the Ralph. I was there for the Denver one that they scored.
Mhm.
Kane scored the OT winner and the
Yeah.
St. Cloud State one. That was electric. It's a shame that it was 25% capacity because I really wanted to know how loud it would have gotten had that been full. Like
It
just a
would have
barn
been
burner.
nuts.
It was a
Oh,
great.
another one, sophomore year when QPAC came to us, we were down like 4 or 5-1 to them,
Mhm.
and we came back and tied it up. We ended up beating them in a shootout
Yeah.
at
Yeah, I remember
home,
that.
but we
That was
we were
last
down
year,
like,
yeah.
I think that was sophomore year.
That
Sophomore
might
year
have
you
been
went to QPAC.
no, that might
Okay,
have been
so
That was last
it
year.
wasn't last year. It was okay. So maybe it's junior year.
yeah, I think it's your
Yeah,
junior
it
year.
was my
Yeah.
junior year.
Yeah, last
Um,
year. I meant last year. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, your junior year. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so that we were down like 4-1, tied that up, and that's one of the loudest I've heard that building too. Like the whole place was on their feet, just going bonkers.
Yeah. That was when Alex Einert had the voice crack on the call.
Oh yeah.
Chris
And that the
Jandricks.
actually I got one more too. Mariucci. Um, obviously what made it loud was the Sioux fans, but
Hmm.
when we went into overtime and beat them in overtime there on
Yeah.
Sendo's OT winner, I think that's the thickest game I've ever been
Hmm.
a part of. Like I think that might be the highlight of my 4 years, or one of them. I should have said
Sendin's
that earlier.
OT.
That was like it was so loud in there. Everyone was
Hmm.
going nuts for us, and it's a road game. But I
I'm
mean,
getting
Yeah.
goosebumps just in telling the story.
Yeah.
yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And then we had the review yet, but they
Hmm.
obviously they reviewed that goal and it stood, and yeah, that was so sick. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Especially after the night before, you guys had the lead for
Mhm.
most of it, and then
Yeah,
Nyes had that little walk around and scored, and then
yeah,
tied it
yeah.
all the way up after I don't remember what his name is through the stick in the crowd.
Yeah,
And me and
Pitlick.
Lincoln were
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Pitlick,
Pitlick.
yeah,
Yeah,
nice
me and
move
Lincoln were
that
there
one.
for that one. That one was good for sure. Um, Playing for a team, we've talked about it, the fan base, historical legacy that UND has. How do you manage that pressure for someone who is in the spotlight as much as you are? How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You just kind of just gotta ride with it. Just have that, honestly, that kind of like welcome to the show mentality where you're like let's go, like this is what we play for, and at the end of the day, like it's just I think what kind of drives you, like it's so fun to experience a win and score a goal in that building and do it for the fans and everything. You want it so bad, so it's kind of just you're working towards to get that adrenaline from the crowd or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Just to make the Sioux fans happy and give them wins. So
Yeah. Is there a story that comes to mind? I have both for this because I didn't know if maybe Mike had a good one too. Is there a funny story, like a funniest story that you have that involves your teammates on or off the ice? Doesn't matter. I don't know if Mike has one, maybe involving a couple parents or hearing about some of the players. Maybe he was there, maybe it was a party or something. Anything that comes
yeah,
to mind?
well, it's a ones that I can probably say on here. Um, um, I don't know. I think one of my favorite stories or memories from this year was just after Penrose night at the pit.
Hmm.
That was
That
elite.
was
Like
fun.
having all the parents there, and we obviously had a heck of a night, and that was a ton of fun having, all the parents drink out of the cup, and
Yeah.
the pit was just juice. But
That's funny he said that because my story was going to be at the pit that night, and I was standing there talking to Eric Fair, who'd played in the NHL for 15
Hmm.
years and won a Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh, and he was saying that when the trophy was in Pittsburgh, no parent could drink out of it until Sidney Crosby's dad drank out of it. So he goes, "Get over there and start drinking." So uh,
That's hilarious.
I went over there and had a good sip out of the penny.
yeah, that was
Awesome.
all
Yeah.
time. Fairzy, I got to know Fairzy a little bit now, and through one of my best friends, and it was like, I guess this is a little story from that night. It was like, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 in the morning, and there's like 8 of us left, and Fairzy's one of them, and he's telling us he's sitting there with all the boys. He's standing in the middle of the living room, and we're on the couch, like standing there listening to his stories, and he's telling us about like his times with the cup, or like just random stories and stuff, and telling us like how worth it is to, just dig deep and get that extra, try and win that championship, right? And it
Hmm.
was kind of almost like a pump up speech, and we're just sitting there like, man, I want to run through a wall for this fucking guy right now. Like, so sick. And he's all time. He's just, yeah, he was
Yeah.
crushed, but it was so fun. So definitely one that stands out for sure.
Yeah, when we got there that night, I is it usually like that when they have all the parents there and everything? Because I just saw Mike and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go. It's a party
Yeah.
right now.
A lot of the time some parents will show up and come for a bit, and like if we pre-game there before we go out. But yeah, I mean, you've been to a few of our parties, and
Yeah.
sometimes we'll have parents like there all night and like shutting our parties down, which is
Hmm.
Perron's parents.
yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're awesome.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
yeah, they're awesome. So a lot of great people, and
Mhm.
um yeah, really good. So
Yeah, that kind of helps us segue into this next question that I have for Mike actually. Um, this doesn't really get talked about a lot, and I know a couple years ago, Mike, I saw you at the I don't remember what the cafe is called right on in front of the Ralph, but you guys were there and Louis' family was there. All the parents were there, I think, except for like Jackson Blake's family. It must have been last year maybe then. But what's the hockey parent situation like for all the UND kids? I'm sure a lot of them come to games, what's that like?
Amazing. All of them are amazing, amazing people. Made lifelong friendships throughout the 3 of the 4 years because I did as Reese as a freshman. It was COVID, so I
Hmm.
never met any of the parents. But through those 3 years, I just have made lifelong friends. And last year texting Kelly Hayne. And oh, I see Reese scored, or oh, I've seen Kelly or Gavin score. Like
Yeah.
they're all great people, very, very down to earth people, and
Hmm.
just like the school, right? It's just
Yeah.
we're all proud of our kids and trying to get that natty.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
a lot of the time too, like some of the Grand Forks parents, like obviously the Montgomerys, Johnsons, and Coonses, they'll host all the parents like on family weekend or whatever. And like I
Hmm.
think one year they went to Coonsy's place. So shout out to Josh and Ange. They're unbelievable people, and yeah, they'll get like all the parents together and for food and apps, whatever, and go to the
Michelle,
game. And yeah,
Michelle and Tom Montgomery and
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, Cheese's parents do
Jesus
the same thing.
parents.
So they're all terrific people,
Cheese.
just typical.
God,
Cheese is a
love
man.
cheese. Love cheese. What are some of your goals for your professional career as it starts up here this season?
Well, I think obviously looking long term, want to play in the NHL one day, and at the end of the day, I just kind of want to make enough money playing that I can live comfortably after and don't have to like have a real career, I guess. But yeah, I think just obviously want to make Charlotte this year and stick in the A and try and work myself to an NHL contract. So
Hmm.
I don't really have any too specific goals, but just do my thing, and
Yeah.
I just want to be dialed in.
of
Mhm.
course.
Yeah, Reese, I gotta ask, but like down the road, future once the pro career wraps up, would coaching be something maybe even coming back to UND if the opportunity was available? Would that be something you'd want to really get into?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think I'll definitely be coaching in some form. When I'm done, I love doing that stuff, working with kids and teaching and coaching, and obviously got my minor in coaching. So, I remember even before I met Simmer, the first thing I saw in Schloss's article was Simmer said that once he left UND, like his main goal, the first thing he wanted to do was get back to UND as quick as possible. And I can definitely relate to that. I think, if I ever have the chance to get back there, it'd be incredible. And who knows, maybe I'll be a forker for life. Who knows? So
Yeah.
it's I've fell in love with forks, and
Mhm.
wouldn't be a bad place to end up for sure.
Yeah. It's a special place for sure. Yeah. What's I'm just do you have thinking kind of deep here. Is there maybe one that stands out if there is any? What's the biggest regret across your college career if you have one?
Um, oof, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Biggest regret, obviously not getting a natty. It's obviously not like a regret, but that's the one
Yeah.
thing that definitely
Sour.
wanted. Yeah, maybe my penalty shot against Notre Dame my sophomore year. I had a penalty shot and I didn't score. Um, still that one still haunts me.
Hmm.
But yeah, that probably the two things that popped in mind right away where I'm like, just makes me want to punch a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. So we're gonna segue kind of into a little bit of a speed run here. These questions are designed to go a little bit quicker, but obviously go in as depth as you want for some of these answers to these questions. What's your favorite goal you had?
uh, Probably frozen face off final on the power play there in the bumper spot. Either that one or my first one. Or I guess maybe one first one on my what was it? Oh, my last game in the Ralph. I that was on the bucket list. I really wanted to score my last game in Ralph, so that one definitely stands out as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that was really special. Um, you're a guy that loves to sally. We always watch you and you score and then you kind of do maybe a little turn and then figure out exactly where you want to skate to. What's your go-to sally? You got one that in mind that you love the most, or is it just kind of whatever you're
It,
feeling?
yeah, definitely get down on the knee and shoot the arrow.
Hmm.
That's definitely the go-to, kind of the first thing that jumps in my mind, and it's just I never plan them or anything. I just love scoring, so I just get so fired up. I could probably rip
Hmm.
around the ice for 5 minutes and just sell you. I love it, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, definitely that's the go-to. So
Yeah, that one's always a good one for sure.
I might
What's
have
your
to tame. I said I was
sorry.
might have to tame it down now and pro. I feel like if I do any of that shit, I'll get my ass kicked. So
Oh yeah, no,
not
you're
exactly
good.
the toughest guy. So
No, we love the hype, got a lot of heart there. You can tell you're really hype when you score, it's good. What's your favorite rink to play in that's not the Ralph?
Omaha, probably just because
Baxter?
most comfortable. Just started in pod there and had good vibes right away there. So yeah, I'd probably say Baxter.
Is that your next question was favorite road trip city? Is that your favorite road trip series to go to? Or is it like maybe Oxford for the food or
Um, hmm,
I know Schloss likes
okay.
Oxford, that's his favorite.
Yeah, probably gotta be Omaha because you got the Vitality Bowls there and Krispy Kreme. That's an auto every time Thursday night when we get to the hotel, getting a
Krispy Kreme.
baker's dozen and probably throw down too many, but Those things
Oh
are
yeah, you
just,
can't not.
they're nuts. Oh my God.
When they're fresh, oh
Unbelievable.
my gosh, they just slip right down the gullet.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Mike, this one's for you. What's your favorite goal you've watched your son score?
Oh, that is a good one. I remember when they played CC in the playoffs. I think that was his,
First came back after my concussion.
no, like in the playoffs where you guys beat CC at home in the
That was
playoffs.
my first game back.
He scored the game winning goal because they won 2-1.
Sophomore
And
year?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm walking out of the rink and I turned to him and I said, "Thanks for scoring the game winner on my birthday for a birthday present." And he goes, "Oh, it's your birthday?"
Yeah, no, fuck, that was bad. I'm so good. I'm so good with that stuff. Like birthdays, I'm always so dialed. Like I'll have people text me like, "Oh," and or like I'll be reminding people it's someone's birthday. And um, yeah, it was after the game. We're standing upstairs and with all the parents, and he's like, somebody, whatever, he said that, and I'm like, "Oh man, happy birthday!"
But I think the best goal was the overtime goal against St. Cloud.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
forgot
That
about
was
that.
that
That's
was
fun.
last
Junior year.
junior, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
it
good
was
one.
Oh
junior.
yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that one. I had a sick edit on my story after that one. It was to Till I Collapsed by Eminem. That one was
Oh,
good. Yeah, that one was good. Because I think Blake wrapped it around and threw it right to you on the back
Yeah.
door.
yeah, I
That one
just
was good.
picked up a little
Like
garbage.
Reese seemed to have scoring some big goals against St. Cloud, and
Hmm.
he scored the tying goal in the OT, and then the next night he scored the tying goal again, and missed on the wraparound in overtime the next night.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
One of their goal or players slid across the open net.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I forgot about
But
that.
that OT goal against St. Cloud's probably,
Yeah. That one's good.
yeah.
I grew up in St. Cloud as a UND fan, so that series is always personal for me. So that was a good one. So thanks for throwing that
Yeah.
one in the back of the net
Yeah.
for me. Um, what's the toughest loss you've had in your career?
Oof. Probably the last one. Yeah, probably the last one. That one. Just knowing that knowing it was over. I feel like um any of those years where we got knocked out. Actually, no, you know what? I take that back. Um, 5 overtimes against Duluth.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that was a
by
barn burner.
far. I think in the moment it was like I don't know. I think we were just like too tired to feel anything. It was like
Hmm.
I mean, it didn't even feel like real life. That was insane. But
Hmm.
yeah, looking back, like I think that was probably our best chance at winning the big one. And
Yeah,
fuck yeah, that one. Yeah, that
got a
one
short end of the
hurts.
stick on that one with how the
Yeah.
tournament. Of course, every year that we get a tough loss, they end up changing the rules because of the game.
Mm.
So uh, for both of you guys now, favorite road trip game. This can be anywhere in the country. Maybe it was Vegas or Nashville or somewhere maybe you guys were together, or if it's different for both of you, what's your favorite one? If there's one that stands
Gotta
out.
be, gotta be Nashville. Yeah, obviously
Country Music City. I mean, that's
I'm
your
a big country guy, and that was the sickest place I've ever been to. I haven't been back yet, but I will be for sure. Um, yeah, even though we lost like that one hurt to lose. But that was the loudest I've ever heard a building. 100%. Like they did the Greg Johnson tribute that night too.
Mhm.
That was I thought that was more packed than Vegas. 100%. Yeah, no question. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty
I
full.
went to Vegas, but I'm not a Vegas guy. Like the game was all right,
Hmm.
taking in some of the city and all that stuff. But with me living 5 hours away from Grand Forks, every time I went down to the Ralph, that is the greatest trip
Yeah, that's
easily
a good
by
answer.
far. Yeah, like I didn't really get his second or third year. I didn't get down there as much as I want to, but
Hmm.
as a senior year, I probably went down there 7, 8 times and I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss that place,
Make it
boy.
count.
Yeah.
So these next two are for both you guys as well. We'll kind of group them together though. What's each of your guys' go-to restaurant in Grand Forks and then go-to bar?
Go-to restaurant.
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
That
I'm
one's
I'm
good.
second on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
My
our
girlfriend works there.
nice. That's
Yeah.
I love Roadhouse.
It was mine too. That's why she works there. Better to stay
Yeah,
working.
bring home buns all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's unreal. Yeah, and then I mean, favorite bars, it's Joe's for sure. Obviously it's pretty easy one.
For you young guys, of course you say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but,
I don't know,
not for an old fellow like me.
places like Judy's or the Bun, pretty elite too. You
Yeah.
gotta
Judy's.
Denny's is another.
Hmm.
That's a that's a sneaky spot. That's no windows in there. You walk out and hits you.
Yeah. I'm sure. What about you, Mike?
Uh, yeah, after a game, I follow wherever the parents are going. Uh, what's it called? The Diamond Club?
The Diamond
Oh
Round.
yeah.
Diamond.
On Demers.
Yeah,
On Demers,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Montgomery's would always take me there, and bands are playing, and you can't hear anybody talking because the bands are playing, but it was more of a 50s plus crowd, and I
Hmm.
fit in well.
That's awesome. I haven't been to that one yet, but I've heard a couple people last couple of
Yeah,
weeks that like that one a lot. So I'll have
yeah.
to check that
Now,
one
if you
out.
like a live band, that's the place to go.
Is it like a mixed genre or is it usually like country or like rock or
It's
what's the scene
everything,
usually?
mixture of everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Cool.
That's awesome. Mike, this one's for you. What's your favorite moment you experienced with your son at UND?
Uh, so many to really pick one. Um,
You can say a couple,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, probably senior night. That's probably right up there to, you know,
It's a
to
perfect
to
night.
to see him wearing the C, grabbing the Penrose, and like Alex and Jake on the TV said, he wasn't giving that up. He came back for that, and just to see him go across around the rink with that
Hmm.
trophy, and I was bawling my eyes out. That was probably the
Yeah.
pinnacle.
Yeah, perfect night too.
Absolutely.
Just senior night, and then you get to win the Penrose. You're the captain, and then you get to bring it back and get wasted. It's just a good night. Good
Yeah.
setup, good timeline. Uh, Back to you, Reese. What's the most impressive teammate that you've had at UND? I have a feeling I know who you're gonna say, but you know.
Yeah, I think the first two that jumped to mind are probably Sandy and Shane.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean they're both just absolute horses and just unbelievable people. Even better players, which is yeah, they're awesome. So
Yeah, they're really fun to watch up in Ottawa.
mm,
What's the most underrated player you've ever played with at UND?
very good question. Oh, most underrated. Trying to think of maybe like honestly, I want to say the three guys that come to mind would be I don't know if Frishy would count because he was like pretty rated, but Frishy was a really good defenseman. Juddy was also pretty awesome, and honestly, I want to say Albs, Carson Albrecht.
Oh,
Like
Bobby.
Bobby.
Oh my Bobby. I
Bobby
love
is
Bobby.
Bobby is the
He's the
man.
man.
He yeah, man, he's so good. He's so valuable. Like he's just a guy like he just serves that role
Hmm.
perfectly. Um, and he's just an all-time teammate. Like everyone,
Hmm.
you're asking a guy who your favorite teammate
He's
is,
still a
and
good guy.
most guys are saying Bobby. Like he's just
Hmm.
Bob's all time. So
Yeah.
and he's a really good player. Like he put up 90 points in the Saskatchewan Junior League, which is I mean it's that's a very hard thing to do. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Bobby for that one.
Yeah, Bobby's electric. I remember going to Duluth and then he scored his first
Oh,
collegiate goal in the most insane way possible. Oh my gosh, that was unreal, unreal.
yeah. I was in the
Um,
stands for that, and that was him and Dane both scored that weekend. Their first. That
yeah,
was
there are a lot of
so sick.
freshmen that scored that weekend, had their first goals. I
We
think
yeah
there's
we had
another one.
our yeah, we had a lot of injuries there, so
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah,
yeah, Sandy was out, I believe, too, and but they got it
yeah,
done. It was a good
yeah.
weekend.
They
That
did.
was a good
Yeah.
weekend. Mike, this one's for you. What will you miss most about UND and your son playing at UND?
Well, first and foremost, the fans. I'm gonna miss the fans. I've met some tremendous, unbelievable fans that in between periods I'd go down and we'd all yak about the period and what they can
Mm-hmm.
do, or and so it's some amazing fans, amazing parents that I'm gonna miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be tough to not be down there anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a freshman Jubenville that's from Gilbert
Yep.
Plains, and
Yep.
I plan on making it down there at least once, if not a couple more times. Been talking to Mr. Jammernick, and we're getting a trip together already, probably against Denver. So
That'll be perfect. Yeah.
yeah,
I'll be missing you. You know, I walk down on the concourse. I always see you, give you a tap on the shoulder, say hi, it's always good. Always good.
yeah, absolutely.
What Reese, what will you miss most about UND?
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same answer, but I just say the atmosphere. Like, yeah, I don't think there's anything better than just witnessing a goal or scoring a goal and just looking up and watching the crowd and
Hmm.
everyone on their feet. Just that place buzzing is, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That's I wish I mean it's awesome every weekend, So as we wrap things up here, I got some questions here for maybe it'll be geared more towards the answer people for people younger kids, or adults. Mike, this one's for you. For any tips for the parents out there who don't know how to help get their kids to play at a high level of hockey? You have anything out there, ways to motivate them or get them to just to be better hockey players or adopt better habits, anything like that?
Well, just be patient with your kids. Let them have fun. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
every kid uh, develops at a different age. And, when Reese was 15 years old up here in Canada, the WHL draft is the big thing. And he didn't get drafted. And, uh, some parents would have pulled their kid out of hockey or something, but I knew he loved it and had a major passion for it. So
Mm-hmm.
just be patient. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and just let your kid enjoy the game,
Yeah.
enjoy his friendship, because only a small percentage make it to the NHL, and
Mm-hmm.
very few get a chance to do what he's had a chance to do. So
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it.
Yeah. And then lastly, or maybe not lastly, but Reese, or do you have any tips for kids out there who want to play D1 hockey or high level hockey?
Yeah, I'd say just put in the work. Like, honestly, what you put in is really what you get out. It's simple to say, but I mean, you see any guy at a high level, um, they didn't get there by doing nothing, So, um, do that and be a good person. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
important too. It opens up opportunities for yourself too, and it's not just, um, it's not just about being um, a good hockey player. There's obviously that part of it too, and
Mm-hmm.
you just want to obviously give back to the fans. Take time for that's another thing. Take time for people too.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was a little kid, I'd look up to junior guys and whatever, and it doesn't take much of your day to make theirs. So
Yeah,
definitely worth it.
that was a good answer. Um, this one's for both of you. What's one thing you'd change about college hockey if you could, if there is anything? It'd be fighting.
Where do I start? Um,
Probably home regionals.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Put in
like
the
that. I
tops.
mean, I think, I mean, some of the regional atmospheres that we experienced were just like, where did we go to when we played Notre Dame in
Albany, New York.
Albany, that was,
That was a
yeah,
joke.
yeah, it was, I don't know. So, I mean, if you're a one seed, I think you just like you've earned that.
Mhm.
I get that, like, it's not fair for everyone, but at the same time, that you play for that all year, you earn it. Like it's, I
Mhm.
don't, yeah,
I agree.
Take away the replays. Oh my God.
Which ones?
the reviews.
The reviews, yeah.
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 For penalties
Just
or
like I understand they're trying to get the head contact out of the game, but my
Mhm.
God, do they need to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to
Yeah,
look if it
slows
was
it
It
down.
gets pretty finicky for sure. Yeah.
Mhm. Slows it down for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, Lincoln, you got anything to add? Any questions? Additional questions?
No, I think that's about it.
I think it does it for me too. The same. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. I know we had this in the works for a while, and
Mhm.
we brought it up maybe even I think it was football season last fall. Me and
Yeah.
Reese talked about it at a game or something.
It's a
So
tailgate. Yeah.
yeah, super glad we were finally able to do it and get her done. And Reese, good luck to you at the next level and your future endeavors and everything. We hope to see you around at the Ralph or in Grand Forks again anytime soon in the future. And then same with you, Mike. Hope to see you at the Ralph. For the DU series or whenever you're coming up. Let us know. Love to connect
Yep.
again. And it's been
You
a pleasure
betcha.
having you guys a part of the UND hockey family the last couple of years. I don't know if I've seen a kid with so much just community involvement towards him. The whole city was behind you. I'd never seen that before, and I've watched UND hockey for so long. You're so passionate about the game here and the school, and it was just really good to see. So yeah, just thank you for all your time and everything that you put into the program. It definitely helps us out. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate it. And
Hmm.
I appreciate the support. It's you guys make it, and without the fans and everything, it's that's what makes the place so special. There's
Hmm.
obviously we have the rink, but if you don't have the fans to go with it, it's
Don't
not
have
the
the
same.
community.
So
Yeah,
yeah, the community is incredible. So yeah, whenever I'm back and forth, I'll have to shoot you a message and maybe
for
go
sure.
for
We
a
got a
couple
jersey for
pops
you
or
to
something.
sign.
So okay,
We got a jersey
sweet,
for you to sign. Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode of ND Ice. Thank you all for watching and listening wherever you are. Follow us on Instagram, ND_ice_official. I'm sure it'll be in the description of this video wherever you're watching it or listening to it. So thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.